YouTube, this is Geographic Scholar. This will be part 2 of my geography and real estate video. Now, I'm going to go into more detail about some of the geographic factors that can affect a home's value. For instance, take into account beachfront property. If you have property that's just close enough to the beach, but not so close that you could have effects from the ocean, that could really be good for your home because, for one, there's an aesthetic value. You're pretty close to the ocean, and you have very close access to the beach, and that can be considered quite helpful. Another thing is riverfront property. If you buy your home just close enough to the river to where you can see it and have access to it, but not so close that you're in a flood zone, that can help you too. You know, that can help because people like to go fishing, people like to go swimming, people like to go on the boats, you know, stuff like that. It has recreational value, it has aesthetic value because a river that's clean or that has sort of a good picturesque value, it can look quite beautiful from your window. Same with being somewhat close to the ocean. Now, let's take into, for instance, if you build your home in a flood zone. Basically, a flood zone is basically like you build your house in a floodplain. You build your house in a floodplain, that will hurt your home value because that is a high risk of having a flood. Basically, if that river floods and that water overflows onto that floodplain, because basically when it rains really hard and for a very long time, the water has to go somewhere and it's going to go to that floodplain. If it goes into that floodplain, that will hurt your property values because then if you're in that floodplain, your house will probably get flooded. And if you don't have any flood insurance, that will really hurt. This has happened before in many places, such as around the Mississippi River area in Missouri. It's happened in other places. Another thing that can really hurt your property values is your geographical proximity to industrial zones or very polluted areas. Now try to think of this in a spatial perspective. Some of the highest rates of cancer are often located in residential areas where, you know, you have a very close proximity to an industrial area, a very polluted area. You know, because you're getting the effluents, you're getting the pollutants, and you're living right next to it. That can really hurt your property values because most people are not going to want to buy near there because of the very severe health risks of buying there. That is part 2 of Geography and Real Estate. This is Geographic Scholar, signing off.